Welcome back to T-Facts, where we dive deep into the latest buzz from the world of reality television. Today, we've got 3 intriguing stories from the Bachelor Nation that you won't want to miss. Let's jump right in. First up, we have the empowering journey of Serene Russell. Join us as we explore her decision to freeze her eggs and how she's taking charge of her fertility. Discover the inspiration behind her choice and the emotional roller coaster she's experienced along the way. Next, we switch gears to the latest episode of The Bachelor. Former contestants Joe Amabile and Charity Lawson sit down to dissect the intricate connections and budding relationships in this season. Who do they think is the strongest couple? You'll want to hear their insights and predictions for Grant Ellis and his final contestants. Finally, drama alert. Carolina Quixano is back in the spotlight after spilling tea about her experiences on the show. Catch up on her passionate Instagram rants and the controversies swirling around her character as she vows to share her truth in upcoming podcasts. Stay tuned as we break down each of these fascinating stories and share our thoughts on Bachelor Nation's latest happenings. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest updates from T-Facts. Let's dive in. Let's dive deeper into our first story featuring the inspiring journey of Serene Russell. Many of you might recognize Serene from Season 26 of The Bachelor and Season 8 of Bachelor in Paradise. Last year, she bravely shared her decision to freeze her eggs, empowering herself in the process. She stated on social media, "I really just wanted to empower myself as a woman and take my fertility into my own hands, and give myself more choices for the future." Fast forward to today, Serene has reached the end of her egg freezing process and is ready to share her experience. In a recent Instagram Q&A, a fan asked her why she chose to freeze her eggs, and her response was both heartfelt and relatable. Serene explained that societal pressures often make women feel like they are on a strict timeline, especially when it comes to family planning. Growing up in Oklahoma, she felt that by her mid-20s, she should be married with kids, just like her parents were. However, Serene realized that staying in some relationships out of a desire to meet that timeline was not beneficial for her. She wanted to find the right partner, not just settle due to pressure. "I began to realize maybe I stayed in some relationships that I really shouldn't have because of my timeline," she shared. Serene emphasized the importance of taking control of her own fertility and how being on her own timeline has alleviated some of that pressure. Throughout the egg freezing process, Serene reflected on both the physical and emotional aspects. She noted that while there were some uncomfortable moments, such as bloating and cramping, her overall experience was positive. "Physically, I wasn't weighing myself, but no weight gain that I noticed. If you do gain weight, it's probably mostly water," she explained. Serene also mentioned how staying hydrated helped her through it. Emotionally, she expressed immense joy and pride in her decision. "I honestly was so giddy and happy," she stated, noting that even in moments of exhaustion, she felt light and upbeat. Of course, she acknowledged some moments of wishing she wasn't doing it alone, as no one wants to inject themselves for the procedure, but ultimately, the sense of empowerment overshadowed any negativity. Serene's journey has also been inspired by fellow Bachelor Nation star Danielle Maltby, who also chose to freeze her eggs. Serene believes that sharing her story can uplift others who may be in similar situations, and we admire her bravery in discussing this important topic. Her story serves as a reminder that women have the power to shape their own futures, and it's encouraging to see Serene taking steps to create the life she dreams of. Keep an eye on her journey. We can't wait to see where it takes her next. Now, let's shift our focus to the latest episode of The Bachelor, where former contestants Joe Amabile and Charity Lawson are back at it, sharing their insights. On their podcast, Bachelor Happy Hour, they recapped the March 3rd episode, where the spotlight was on Grant Ellis and his interactions with the remaining contestants. During a particularly revealing hometown date with Juliana Pasquarosa, Charity expressed her mixed feelings about their chemistry. While she acknowledged that Grant and Juliana appear to be compatible to an extent, she felt there was something missing between them. "They are very cute together. I love them together. I just feel like, at least watching this episode or just their relationship, I feel like they are each other's safe space," she remarked. However, she added a caveat saying, "I don't know if it's necessarily the good safe space, if that makes sense. I feel like it's the safe route or the safe option." From Joe's perspective, he also weighed in, noting that while Grant and Juliana genuinely liked each other, it felt more like a friendship than a romantic connection. He referenced moments from Charity's own season, recalling how she seemed genuinely in love with another contestant, Datan Alubiko. When you were talking to Datan, I remember Serena and I were like, "Oh, Charity, in love with this guy," Joe commented, highlighting the stark difference in emotional depth compared to Grant and Juliana's relationship. As the discussion progressed, the topic of Zoe McGrady's connection with Grant came up. Joe pointed out that it was quite telling that Grant mentioned he liked Zoe, but hesitated to express deeper feelings by not dropping the L-bomb. Charity chimed in, suggesting that, although Zoe had a good rapport with Grant, her connection felt like a step down from what he shared with Juliana. But who do Joe and Charity see as the strongest couple this season? Joe confidently stated that Lisha Gar and Grant would earn that title, and Charity was quick to agree, stating 1000%. They both praised Lisha's dynamic with Grant, mentioning how their conversations seemed to have substance and depth beyond mere surface-level interactions. Charity noted, "In comparison to everyone else, I feel like the conversation, substance, the depth of it goes beyond surface level, and that is what I'm looking for as a viewer." However, not all is rosy, as Joe and Charity expressed skepticism about Dina Lupunku's connection with Grant, suggesting it felt more like a safe friendship. Despite Dina's family opting out of hometowns, Joe believed it wouldn't change Grant's course of action, feeling it was clear he was never going to pick Dina. With this captivating commentary and analysis, Joe and Charity offer fans a rich perspective on the evolving dynamics of this season's contestants. Tune in next week as we continue to follow Grant's journey and see how these connections unfold. And finally, we have some drama unfolding surrounding Carolina Quixano, who has been making headlines after spilling some tea about her experiences on The Bachelor. After being sent home last week without securing a hometown date, Carolina suddenly found herself at the center of controversy, and she is not holding back. In a series of passionate Instagram rants, Carolina defended herself while using a playful banana filter, vowing to tell her truth. This all kicked off after she shared her thoughts with social media personality Zachary Reality, who then posted their conversation online. Carolina expressed her feelings about the situation, accusing Zachary of being shady for leaking their private messages. She felt uncomfortable that, while the producers could showcase her emotions on camera, they wouldn't allow her the same opportunity to speak out during the Women Tell All taping. In her posts, Carolina pointed out the hypocrisy of her treatment, stating, "It's interesting that they will shove cameras in your face when you don't want them to, but then give this kind of response." She highlighted the frustrations she faced during the show, especially when it came to her airtime versus her ability to share her side of the story with the media. Carolina went so far as to declare that she had the most screen time all season, yet wasn't allowed to publicly discuss her journey at the Women Tell All. "I showed a photo from the Instagram account Bachelor Data, which displayed how much airtime each contestant got during Grant's season," she shared during her rants. This pointed observation raised eyebrows among fans, as it seemed to highlight a clear disparity between her on-screen presence and her opportunity to fully express her narrative. Dramatically concluding her rants, Carolina claimed that those who know her understand she is not the villain she has been made out to be, and she pledged to defend herself against any unfair characterization. "Don't worry, there will be podcasts, and I will share my truth," she promised, leaving fans eagerly anticipating her upcoming revelations. This ongoing saga not only adds more excitement to the season, but also opens up discussions about the challenges contestants face on reality TV. How do you feel about Carolina's bold stance? Are you anxious to hear her side of the story in future podcasts? Stay tuned, as we'll keep you updated on all the developments surrounding this captivating drama.